So, AJ, one of the challenges right now seems to be that with startups specifically, seed and Series A companies, I've now spoken to a couple of sales leaders as well as founders who are thinking, I see the data. People want to consolidate. They don't want to buy more tech. And if they're buying something, they're buying these larger, more comprehensive platforms. Great. What do? Mine's a point solution. Like I had raised $1 million. What am I going to build? Like a full end-to-end platform? I have a point solution. How do I win in this market? Like, is it like it feels overwhelming. The flip side is you're not looking for 100 million in revenue. You need to go scratch out a million, maybe, right? That seems like a very solvable problem, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, what do you think?
No, you're not wrong at all. It's really hard. It's really hard out there. Look at us. We have all of our businesses are fairly mature in terms of like thinking and evolve. And we're sitting here talking about these very problems every single week of how's our customer evolved? How do we win? How does our customer win? That's what ultimately we're saying. Like, how does our customer win? And then that allows us to unlock. And in this world where you're sitting like, hey, I have raised $1 million. This is a situation where I don't know if this is going to be viable because there aren't CFOs, there aren't people like people saying they're paying for it. I'm having to give it away. I have 30 customers, 20 customers that are just like using the thing to get feedback from. And then I need to go raise a seed series A. I don't have a great answer outside of like, I think we go back to some of the themes and what we've talked about previously with
What if you were
partnerships.
starting a business today and you knew I'm raising a million? I'm not going to throw all my wealth at it. I'm just going to raise a million and do it the way that it's supposed to be done. Okay. So now, do you have any fear that you can't find a million in revenue in this market, like with a point solution?
No, not at all. But I think this is a really interesting point, and it's a little bit of maybe a left turn in this conversation. But there are a lot of former founders that are out there that are like talking and having these discussions on Signal, on Discord about businesses that were originally these major service businesses, and they are taking AI, they're taking Gen AI, they're taking pieces of it and they're automating it to bankroll it for and get $1 million or $2 million in cash flow, doing a lot of different things. I had a really interesting conversation with my brother, a VP of product at a startup, and he's thinking about doing that on the side himself. So my answer is I wouldn't start a software business today. That's like the
What?
contrarian point of view. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't start a software business today.
That's a big statement.
That's a big statement, and the reason for that is like I think that there's just too much for the world to figure out what software looks like. I think Sam's right. Subscription services and subscription models are challenging. We should look to other business models. I think building the software is changed, and what good engineer, what a good CX, what a good sales rep looks like has changed so much. And I don't have those answers where experience has told me exactly what it looks like. Now, I have it for my business from a maturity standpoint. I feel good about our position and where we are. But as a brand new founder coming into, or not brand new founder, third time founder coming into this, I don't think I would start a software business.
That's very interesting. I don't know. I think that's just like,
That's surprising. You seem shocked at that. Like, why? Why is that
yeah, I'm a little bit
surprising?
speechless. Sam, you say something. Let me
Why?
think about this.
Look at the data. Look at the data. What are we just talking about?
I
We're
need to
talking about
process it.
interest rates. We're talking about interest rates not being cut. We're talking about capital markets not returning. We're talking about Gen AI changing over the world, what that looks like. We're talking about you no longer have office space
I just
where you
never
are.
like this is me, like I'm trying to put myself in your shoes and think there's probably a flaw in me that I don't think these type of challenges can are not navigatable. Like I think they are, and they create as many opportunities as they do disturbances. And so I think, is there the potential to build a really interesting business that is a software business in with all of this taken into account?
Of course.
100%. And
Of
so
course.
if it's possible, then am I
I mean,
able
part
to
of
do
it,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Part of it is just like problems to solve. I haven't really thought about it. And so like that's I get excited
Yeah.
about ideas and then I grasp onto it. I guarantee there are founders that are listening to this right now that are nodding their head yes. They would not start a
I
business today's
Sure,
world.
because they're dealing with the after effects of a 12 months of being beaten up by an economy, right? Like
But it
it's
doesn't
really
matter
hard.
scale or size.
2023 was really hard. Like everybody got punched in the face, dart, and everywhere else. And it goes back to what Sam was saying is that when you come out of a market like that, your thinking even shrinks. The aperture becomes more narrow in terms of your vision and what you're saying to people. You're on the back foot because the market's been beating you up. And so then you think starting a new business, yeah, like of course you're in a negative mind frame over that. But if you look at the opposite of that, in 2021, everybody thought building a business is easy. And the truth is somewhere in between. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. And yes, markets impact it, but a lot of these challenges are very logical problems to be solved. And it's usually our emotions that cloud our judgment. Like Sam was saying, that there's so many founders who don't understand why my technology is not flying off the shelves. It's the same way as to why a parent doesn't think their child's ugly, right?
Sure.
Like
So
it's
there
really,
was,
really hard.
was it Mark Andreessen or was Horowitz, whatever. He said like the time to build Black Swan memo that came out during COVID. You all remember that?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
I think that was the right message, wrong timing. I
Hmm.
actually would say that like it's not time to build just yet, but we were probably on the precipice of what that looks like. And so like, look, I in 6 months, 12 months, if you were to ask me that same question, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm telling everyone to go out and build everything they possibly can. Maybe today I'm not giving that feedback. So I don't know.